What? Literally what? Okay. So I saw this a couple hours ago and I decided to make a video on it. I don't know how I don't know how many people are gonna care about LR Taizoo, however you pronounce his name. But yeah, so we are getting the next LR is gonna be Taizoo or Taizoo. How? Legitimately, how are they gonna do this? Because like it says, this is gonna be the first LR for an R character. A rare character. How are they gonna do this? I'm super interested to see what they're gonna do for like what materials you need. Like, how are they gonna do this? It's gonna be interesting. But for Taizoo, I'm not really sure if he's bringing in the new players. I don't think he's bringing in anybody new. I don't know if there's any dedicated hardcore. There's probably one Taizoo fan, right? There's probably like one at the very least, or maybe a handful of Taizoo fans that probably really care about this news of him getting an LR. But for the majority of people, like 90% of people, they probably aren't gonna care too much about Taizoo. So let's just take a look at him real quick. So we have Taizoo here. Again, he's an R character, so I'm very curious to see what they do with him. I don't know what all they can really do. So if he's gonna be an LR, he's definitely gonna be a backline unit, right? No doubt about it, because of his passive. His passive, it's actually, like, if we're just looking at it from what he does, it actually isn't like too terrible. Like, nowadays it's terrible, but if you give him an LR and you make him a really good, I mean, of course, they're gonna make him a really good human support character. I could definitely see Taizoo becoming a very viable option to run in the back. I could. The only issue is the CC. So with his stats are horrible. Like, his stats are god awful. So they're probably gonna have to do some magic with his substats, his basic stats. They're probably gonna have to do something with his skills as far as making him super strong. I don't really know what. I don't even think it matters with his skill. Okay, his first skill, I don't think it matters. He's not. I don't think. I don't think Taizoo is gonna be a DPS killer. I don't think Taizoo's gonna be that character. But I do think that Taizoo could be a very good last man standing kind of character. So maybe if they give him something in his passive where he gets buffs depending on the amount of allies defeated, maybe he gets buffed depending on the number of allies on the battlefield. I don't know, something like that. Maybe he can seal rank 2 and 3 cards when he comes from the secondary slot, right? There's definitely something they could do here. It's not a lost cause, for sure. It's not a lost cause. And then also, if they could just take this off, I don't see really why. I mean, we're talking about a beginning of the game, like a 7-year-old unit, basically, right? So I definitely could see why they restricted it to PvP, because at the start of the game, if this was if you could use this at the start of the game, if you could use this anywhere, Taizoo would literally just be one of the best characters. Like, he would have been one of the best characters in the game, just because of that damage decrease taken. Super good, super good. But his main thing is gonna be his buff card, because this actually is not a bad card. If this was a taunt, which actually, so doesn't he, I at least I thought he had a holy relic. I don't know. He does have a holy relic, right? Let me actually check the game real quick, because I think he has a holy relic. It's gonna be a little zoomed in, so I apologize. Let me actually really quick. There we go. Okay, let me see. So I thought he had a holy relic, but I guess not. I don't know why I thought. Oh, you know why? I'm thinking of Alioni. I think that's what I'm thinking of. I think I'm thinking of Alioni. He's the one who has a holy relic, I believe. So Alioni actually has a holy relic. Okay, so Taizoo doesn't. Okay, if they give him a holy relic, which they definitely should, because he's gonna be an LR. I could see his holy relic having like a taunt, right? Maybe given again a few basic stats, maybe crit chance increase, crit damage increase, crit defense increase, something like that. I could see it. I definitely could see it. Maybe even an evasion for him, because if they buff him and they change his skill effects, which they probably will, they can make this a very strong card because of the reflect. So if he has an ally or he himself, maybe they turn this single target into an infect, right? Maybe like a pierce infect card or something like that. Some way to basically restrict healing, and then he can put this up right here. And then if his holy relic has a taunt, or if they give him some taunt in his passive, I could actually see Taizoo being a very like viable / good unit, right? It's not like it's gonna, his ultimate, I mean, his ultimate doesn't really matter. They could leave this the exact same and it wouldn't change much. It's really just about this buff card, his passive, and his holy relic. This attack skill, I mean, yeah, if they give it an infect type of an ability, it could be good, because then, you know, you use your single target, then you use this reflect. It's pretty like that's a pretty strong combo, especially because the reflect at level 1 is 40%. So if they're doing a pretty big, now granted you do have to survive, but if they're doing a pretty big attack and you're able to live, even 40% of the damage reflected could be pretty good. But I don't know, survivability, look at his subset. Crit resistance 25%, crit defense 20%, then you have resistance at 5%. It's just a really bad stat spread. So we'll see what they do with Taizoo. And then of course we got the other little bit of info here. So it looks like the trio, the mischievous trio, they're gonna be getting their buffs, I guess. So that's pretty good. I was actually kind of looking at LR Hauser, because he could still be a very decent farming option because of how fast his skills hit. I think he could actually be a pretty good option. So if they actually buff Hauser, I would be super down with that. But let's look at Gil. So we got Gil Thunder. He again, these are LRs. Like again, look at their stat spread, right? So Taizoo, if he gets something like this, and then he has a way to increase some of these stats, I could see it. I could definitely see it. But anyway, so if they buff these 3 characters, I don't know what they were thinking when they made these characters, because they're the exact, and I'm not kidding, they're the exact character from when they're a UR to an LR. The only difference is that they're getting a little bit extra, and that's it. There's literally no change. They could have just not even made them LR, and they could have just buffed the character. For real, I don't really get it. I don't get it. So obviously with Gil's supposed to be a tank. He's supposed to be a tank. He's supposed to be a tank, and he fucking sucks. Like, what were they thinking, dude? What were they thinking when they made this character? If they gave him, like, to be completely fair, his holy relic, it's not the worst, right? The holy relic for all of them is not terrible. It's just I don't get why they made it to where they can't really have much. Like 20%, or not 20%, I guess I would say, because what is this, 40% altogether once you get it max ultimate move gauge, 40% extra resistance, crit resistance, and crit defense. It's not the worst. And then Gil himself is also increasing his resistance by 10%, and then additional fit. Like, it's not terrible, but when you look at it in a vacuum, he's just getting crushed. Like, if this was crit defense and crit resistance, then I'd be like, okay, maybe we got something going on. Increasing all stats, not bad, but like legit, Gil doesn't do anything. Like, he doesn't do anything. He has an AoE shock, which, I mean, I guess, like, sure, like for a debuff, like a DOT debuff meta, if that ever comes back, it could be decent. Sure, I guess, I don't know. He has his taunt, which is nice because it takes decreased damage, but I mean, what could they really do? Again, Hauser's the only one that's like, I would even say runnable slash, I don't even want to say runnable because he's going to be a farming unit, but he's the only one that even has some type of redeemable qualities right now, because he has a sub-slot passive, and then both of his skills, again, since they're AoE and they hit really, really fast, he can be still to this day a nice option for people farming, right? He could definitely still be a pretty nice option. But yeah, I don't know. Like, I literally don't know what they would buff. I mean, they could buff Hauser since he's a backline support. I mean, imagine instead of 18%, they just make a 25% basic stat increase. That would push him over the top. That would be super crazy. You know, just, I guess, give this a little bit more damage. Maybe instead of Pierce, if you even want to make it, I don't know, Pierce and what could be a good thing for Pierce and Power Strike AoE, I guess that would be pretty crazy. Super Cyclone instead of Sever just by itself. You know, maybe they'll do, again, I'm not super knowledgeable on the effects, but if they give it 3 times crit chance and 3 times crit damage, I'd be happy with that. You know, they can't do nothing with the Holy Relic, so the Holy Relic's gonna stay the exact same, but for his lead or his passive skill, 25% basic stats, give this a few extra bit of damage, maybe a little bit more damage and different effects. Hauser could be cooking. He could be cooking, actually. I don't think it's a lost cause for Hauser. I definitely think that he does have the best kit out of these 3 for sure. And then we got Greyamore. I don't know what, like, Greyamore shouldn't be, I feel like Greyamore should be pretty easy to make good because he's actually supposed to be a tank. So I feel like if they just give him, I don't know, if they're gonna buff him, because again, they all do the same thing. So they didn't give him an all stats increase like they did for Greyamore and Gil, but that's because he already has the support passive. But if they wanted to, they could just give him extra stats, like give him an extra 10 or 15% stats. Same thing with Gil or Greyamore. Oh, and Gil, right? Same thing with both of them. You make that very, very powerful. I don't like, just change that, like just give it more, like give these passives more, like just give them more. I don't know why they did this. So the first skill, second skill, I mean the second skill, I mean, he doesn't taunt though, right? No, he doesn't taunt. I mean, just give him taunt here. Why is he doing damage dealt? I don't understand that. This should be damage decreased or something. And then his AoE, I mean, whatever, his AoE doesn't really matter. Sure, like disable stance skills, I guess, is cool. But this definitely should be stronger, right? For sure. And then his ult can stay the exact same. His ult is actually pretty damn powerful. Like no joke, his ult is actually really powerful. The only thing is it's a blue buff pass or a blue buff ultimate. So if the enemy has a team that can remove buffs, I mean, you're just like, this ultimate is legitimately, this ultimate, it's nothing. But if they don't, you're actually looking pretty good, because this defense, 440%, that's nothing to laugh at for 4 turns. Like, that is stupidly strong. So definitely could just leave this alone. But yeah, Greyamore, they could just make him a really good give him give him some defense, give him some damage reduction, and we're eating. Like, we're cooking. But yeah, that's really all the news that we got. Unfortunately, we don't have nothing else really happening. Kind of I'll make a video on it. I was gonna say kind of a dead celebration, but I'll make a video on it and go over everything. So yeah, let me know what you guys think. We got potential buffs coming in for these 3, for our boy Gil, Hauser, and Greyamore. Really excited about that. And then the first ever R character to get an LR. Let's see what they do. Let's see if Grand Cross actually cooks up.